Yo, it's been a long time. Let's get right into this video. We're gonna do a video on webhooks because someone left a comment yesterday asking how to use webhooks for assistables. So in this video, I'm gonna cover what a webhook is, how to use webhooks, show how to use it for assistables for your AI voice agents for Go High Level, and then get you thinking about other ways you could use this and all the possibilities that are endless with webhooks. So let's get right into this. Webhooks. So I have a definition right here. I just got this from Google. It says a webhook is an automated message sent from one application to another when a specific event occurs, acting as a real time notification system rather than requiring constant checking. Polling. We'll cover what polling is too. It works by sending an HTTP post request called a payload to a unique URL, the endpoint provided by the receiving application, carrying the data about the event like a new user, sign up, or a payment. To the second app can instantly react and trigger workflows, making communication between systems efficient and event driven. All that basically means is it's event driven. So an event happens, boom, it sends a notification. And what you need to know is an HTTP post, which is basically just a lot of information. So it holds information in a certain language, and it's like keys, and it's able to be decoded. So event happens, it sends a key of information, so it can be decoded. All right, let's go to my beautiful drawings over here. So I have a couple examples here. What polling basically is, let's say there's a mailbox here and you want to know when you have mail. You'd have to look into the mailbox constantly. So this is you opening and closing the mailbox to look in it. You're constantly polling every 10 seconds. You're checking if your mail's there. Is my mail there? Is my mail there? Is my mail there? Flat, 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 mail, mail, mail. That's what polling is. It's super inefficient. So you're constantly checking it. And live. So live is like, this is a camera right here. Sorry, this is so bad. Live is like there's a beam going right into here. There's like a super powerful centralized beam. It's always looking, but there's this high amount of energy, high amount of throughput, high amount of um, money you're spending or whatever you're doing right. This it constantly is showing. There's this beam. You're always looking into your mailbox, like setting up a TTV camera, always looking there. You just have to spend money on the equipment, on the live streaming, right? It works, it's good, it's reliable, but it's not as efficient as webhooks. Webhooks is you get a mail, boom, notification, and the delivery driver puts the flag up. So you just check because you know the flag is up, right? You get a notification, you receive a text to your phone, you have received mail, check your mailbox. It's efficient when an event happens, aka for the mailbox, when someone delivers mail into here, then you get the notification right here. And yeah, so that's what webhook is. We'll explain it in three ways. So go high level, and we'll explain it in a website and in a made up example. So let's go to go high level. Actually, I'm explaining assistables first for the person who asked. So in assistables, when you're setting up a voice agent, there's incoming call webhooks and post call webhooks. So before a call, after a call. And this is what it is. So this is the link you have. These links are what you paste into the receiving end so it can capture the information. So because we're sending information from here, this is the HTTP payload. It has a link attached to it. So before a call happens, we can send information over to point B. And after a call happens, we can send information over to point B. But we need to know what point A is. Point A is this bot call, right? This call coming in from assistables. And so point A is the income one and the post call one. We have two. So before a call happens, what we can do is we can set up a workflow. This is a pre-call webhook. So right here, it's a trigger inbound webhook, and all we have is the URL incoming call webhook. So when a call is coming in, this is all the information we get from the call. So we can see the number it's coming from. We can look at all this data. So this is all data. You see random stuff. All you really need to know is the contact ID and the number. So you can see what number it's coming from, and you can also check what the contact of the person is. And what we can do that is helpful is before a call comes in, we can search for the contact. And if the contact is found, um, we can update the contact ID. And if they're not found, we can also update the contact ID. So this is just a find contact ID, and then inbound webhook request contact ID. You go inbound webhook trigger contact ID. So we're basically just giving context and saving the contact of the person who's calling us if we want to use it for the AI, or if we want to update our CRM with the person who called us from the caller ID. So that's the use case for the incoming call webhook, just to know the name of the person. And then we have a post call webhook. This one is where a lot of sauce comes from. So you copy this, and then this is my post call webhook workflow. So we have post call trigger, again, inbound webhook, and then the same URL. You're grabbing it. And then this is all information you get after the call ends. Call type, phone call, direction is outbound to, from, contact ID, disconnect reason, so whether user hung up or AI hung up, call summary, call completion, if it was completed, recording URL, right? This is all built into Assistables already. Assistables gives you this payload already. All you have to do is literally just plug this link into an inbound webhook flow, and you get all this payload after a call. You get all this information. And so what you can do is you can find the contact, update it with contact ID, and then you can update transcript with this update transcript, AI conversation transcript, which is right here in these custom fields. So this is a custom field. And then you have, boom, your webhook trigger has all these fields. These are the keys. Whenever you make a webhook, you will get these custom fields right here. So you just click the little dash, inbound webhook trigger, automatically knows it's looking for the webhook that is in the workflow. Then you have all these keys, right? All these answers. So whatever you get for contact ID, it will give you contact ID. Whatever you get, right? So for this example, we're updating the transcript. So we made a custom field to update a transcript, and then we're just grabbing an inbound webhook transcript. Update conversation summary. Same thing. It's just going to be a webhook for call summary. And we use AI to make the call summary. Just a simple LLM converting the full message into a shorter message, a summary of it. And then we're waiting for a data exchange. Did the person book or did the person not book? And then this is just for me. So yeah. But this is how you basically use webhooks for information, right? All you're seeing it really be used in this situation is after a call ends, I want information on the person who's calling. I want to know if they booked. I want to hear a transcript. And if they booked, I can trigger a workflow a certain way. And if they didn't book, I can trigger a workflow the other way. And the way we know if someone booked or didn't book is because of the webhook. We're grabbing one, the transcripts. And then two, we're using AI to detect if it was positive buying intent or not, because we have a transcript that AI can read. And then three, and then it buckets them into two workflows. Either they didn't buy or they did buy. They did book or they didn't book. So it really is, you can start to see here that it's all up to your creative ability, right? You can use these webhooks in whichever way you would like. I'll give you another example of how I use the webhook. So this is on my website. And if you go all the way down here and you see this form, type in your information, boom, boom, boom. Here, maybe I can show an example. Jason eats meat. Jason eats meat at gmail.com. Start a conversation. So, boom, I just entered a field on my website. Inquiry received. And then if I go over here, website inquiry, I have a webhook that captures this information, and it's right here. So it literally sends it I get the full name, the company name, the trade, the email, all the information they put in here. We're able to capture and map it into a webhook that can then be received. So then we receive information. I'm using this to update my pipeline, and then I'm creating a contact with the information. So I'm updating the full name, phone, email, business name, website inquiry, and using it for attribution. So this is the way I use it on my website. When someone updates the form on my website, this isn't a GoHighLevel form. This is a custom built form using AI. So I want to make sure I capture the information here to my GoHighLevel, even though it's not a GoHighLevel form. So this is how you can get creative with forms and do embedded ones in your site. You can do simple stuff. And the way I made this was I just went to ChatGPT and I typed in a prompt, something like this. I literally said, create me a webhook URL prompt for my web builder, build the form and embed this webhook link. I need to grab the info from the form. The form fields are XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. So you're basically asking AI to build you the form, and then you're going to give it the form fields, because what you do is when you make this trigger, so let's say you want to make a trigger to post your webhook, you grab this, right, and you post it in this website URL. So whenever someone submits this form on my website, I'm getting a request sent to my GoHighLevel, because this URL is grabbing it, if that makes sense, right? So it's pretty much how webhooks use. So another way, the first example I showed you guys is pre-call recordings, post-call recordings, and this one I showed you a form submit. Form is submitted, it's posted to this web hook, and then I have all this information. And yeah, so let's think of a third example before I end this video. We'll come up with one right now. The first thing that comes to mind is just your phone, right? Like, you know, you get those notifications on your phone all the time. Well, if someone's on Instagram, right, and they send you a meme, here, let me do this full screen. Someone sends you a meme on Instagram. They're texting you on their phone. They're scrolling. They're like, oh shit, I see this meme. Tap, share, send to Rodriguez. And when I click send, it's gonna send a webhook to Rodriguez. It's gonna post a webhook with the information of the message. So then Rodriguez receives the message to live action. So that's another example of how to use a webhook, right? Notifications are the best example of how to understand what a webhook is. Because yeah, you're sending something, or the system is sending something, and then you receive it live. But yeah, that's it. It's my video on webhooks and how to use them for your AI automation agency inside of GoHighLevel and Assistables. Again, we covered using webhooks for pre-calls and post-calls to gather information and for attribution and to put stuff into certain workflows. We covered how I'm using it on my website to collect data. And lastly, the final example with your phones and notifications. But yeah, if you like this video, please drop a subscribe down right there. Please, I'm doing this. Doesn't cost you guys anything. Free video, free value. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And I will be uploading a lot more, providing a lot more value. So if you also have any questions on what you want more information on, what video would help you out in your AI agency, or what you want to know more about, I'll do some research to the best of my ability, and I will make a video on it and try providing you guys as much value as possible. So drop a comment if you have any questions at all, and I'll make a video on it. But yeah, have a good day. God bless.